Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Opulence Experience. And let me get myself set up, and then we will, in fact, make a start. Ooh, give me 2 secs here. Da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, no, spelling that wrong. Okay, and move that over. Stick that there. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, let's pull that out. It's all hidden. Where is my neck gone? Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Opulence Masterclass or Experience or whatever you want to call it. I am Rosemary Nonny Knight, and I am so excited to share this stuff with you today. And for all of y'all awesome clients, as always, be very present here. Be very, very present here. Okay. This Opulence Masterclass, yes, it's for all of y'all that are already deliberate millionaires, but also for some of you who are just within the outer community. I like to welcome you to parts of our calls, and then the question and answer parts are private to those who have chosen to upgrade or to be one of my clients. Okay, so who is this masterclass for? It is for people who know that you're meant for and very capable of more. You're powerful. You may not use the word "I'm powerful" because there's a part of you that doesn't actually want to admit that in case people take you down. But there's a part of you that does know that there's a heck of a lot of power inside of you that you are not fully utilizing. You're here to make your difference on this planet. You're here to change lives. You want to create a heck of a lot of wealth whilst you're doing it too. However, life has not been that kind to you. Okay, you've overcome a lot of stuff, and a part of you has been pushed around and betrayed by people in your life and the events of your life. But you're done with your sad story. Okay, you're always willing to do what it takes to overcome, and now you're even more fully committed to finding your path to total prosperity in every single area of your life. You know it's on you to get over the inner nonsense that sometimes does cloud your judgment. And though you're more comfortable with just working harder and harder and harder and harder to get what you want, you're starting to see that just working harder is not enough. Because if it was just based on how much work you're doing, you should be the wealthiest, most fulfilled, most happy person on the planet, but you ain't. Let's be honest. You recognize also that it's not enough for you to fast and to pray and to do all the spiritual things alone either. Okay. There is room for you to master yourself, to look into those dark places, to heal whatever needs to be healed so that you can create the life and the business that you desire without all the holdbacks. Okay. You're not looking for a savior because you're strong enough. You know that. You're not looking for anyone to save you. You know deep down that you are powerful enough. You're also starting to realize that you are the miracle, you are the answer, you are the magic that you're looking for. You just need a little support to see through the mire within you, because you do know that you are meant for more, so much more. And you're ready now to just go beyond praying harder or working harder to mastering yourself too. You want to truly understand how to use, your connection to the divine, your intuition, because you sense that the wisdom you require to step into your next level is going to come from within. You do want to be highly profitable if you're in business, or you want to live out your purpose. And for most of us in this community, there's a call to maybe coaching or to sharing our message with the people in our world. And so you want to do that. And you don't want to be so concerned about how much it's all going to cost and whether you can afford things or not afford things, because you want to live above all of that stuff. You're done with wondering if you can afford things. You want to get to the place where money feels easy. Ooh, I'm getting hot in here. Let's switch off the heater. You want prosperity in every single area of your life, and you're no longer willing to settle for less. You're willing to get rid of anyone that gets in your way, because you finally realize that the only way you can really be of service to anyone is when you master your inner world and put clear boundaries in place against the energy vampires in your life. You've given and given and given. And there's, as much as you don't always want to admit it, there's resentment. But you're such a nice person. But you're recognizing that this isn't getting you anywhere that you need to go. You're done with wasting your life trying to be all things that people expect you to be. You're ready finally to be who you are created to be, because there's a hunger in your soul to come alive. And yeah, there's going to be a transitional period of time that may seem painful, but you're ready to grit your teeth and do what it takes to go the distance because you are ready to thrive in every single area of your life. You want more for yourself and for your loved ones, and you know you're capable of it. That's the thing. And so you're certainly done with looking for magic bullets because none of them work anyway. You're ready to do what it takes until it freaking takes. This is your moment and you're ready to rise. And yeah, there's a bit of an edge and a hardness to you. It's been brought on by fighting so many battles. But beneath that hardness, that anger, that frustration with how life has treated you, there's a softness, a beautiful softness that does seek full expression. And it will take courage for you to let that part out because you have been hurt many times before. But you're done with trying to be something that you're not. You're ready to truly step into trust of the divine, your higher power, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, to that source of all there is. You want to truly experience being backed up by the divine as you step fully and very deliberately into your true design life and your true design business. You're ready to trust that the entire universe will support you in your becoming. Though the truth is, you find it difficult to trust people. It doesn't come easy to you to trust anyone. But you're finally ready anyway to see that your softness is not weakness. To start to embrace all of you, the hard, the soft, the dark, the light, the feminine, the masculine, the action taker, the playful, childlike side. You see that all of it is part of your strength. If if what I've said here resonates, then you're in the right place. These Opulence Masterclasses are for you, to support you in your growing, to support you in your becoming. Today, it's all about, stop delaying your destiny. It's all about the procrastination that seems to keep you from the things that you desire. It is time for you to rise victorious in your true design life. And so we're going to talk about a few things around this whole dilly-dallying. Why do you procrastinate? What gets in your way? How do you overcome the things that cause you to delay stepping into your destiny? We're going to look at it beyond just the surface stuff that you read about in books and such. We're looking at your energy, your masculine, your feminine, what's going on there. Because that is what is keeping you from your destiny. Because it's not that you're afraid of hard work. You are not. You're willing to work hard. You've been working hard for your whole life. So working hard is not the issue. But when it comes to the things that really matter to you, when I use the word true design, which is like your life's purpose. When it comes to those important things, you might already be in business, but when it comes to doing things like marketing that business, you struggle, you procrastinate, you put off doing the things that you know you need to do. Though you work hard at everything except the stuff that actually will move you into your next level. What's going on? What's causing you to sabotage yourself? That's what we're here to uncover, to understand, to give you some wisdom, to start handling yourself a little bit better, to become more self-aware. That's what today's class is about, okay? So who am I? I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, in case you don't know. Okay, I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. I used to be a pharmacist. I work with, these days, instead of being a pharmacist, I work with action-oriented spiritual people to live in their true designs, to leave behind the pain, the limiting beliefs of the past, to rise victorious in your true design. For some of y'all, that is business. I like to support coaches, healers, course creators, spiritual teachers to actually hit six figures within a year, because it's absolutely possible. For some of you, it is that you're just at that place where you're still trying to fully own your life's purpose. You haven't fully surrendered to it yet, but you're ready. You're ready. But there's doubts and there's fears. I support people in getting past all of that stuff. Two, because I really do believe that the world needs more spiritual people to rise up and start living to the fullness of your potential. That's what the world needs. Us, awakened fully, not navel gazing forever. Come on now. It's time for us to wake up and start living to the fullness of our potential. And that's me. Anyway, I'm Rosemary, as I say. But we're going to start this whole experience with an affirmation. The affirmation for today is, I am stepping into my vision. If I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. I'm stepping into my vision step by step. Now, what I'm going to try to do is share some of the affirmation with you guys. And this generally tends to lead to choppy music, but we will do our best. We will do our best and we'll make this work somehow. So I will share the screen. If everything goes to plan, then I will share the screen. If you're on Facebook or anywhere else, you'll see it. But if you are not, then you won't. Let's see. There, that's what I want to share. Allow. Okay, so I think I'm sharing. I hope I'm sharing. And if I'm not, well, let's hope I am. Okay, so let's start this. So take a few moments here. Take a deep breath. Be very present. This is a time for you to experience being one with the divine. I am stepping into my vision. I am stepping into my vision. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. Just see yourself, stepping into your vision. If you need to stand up and take a step, then do it. Decide again in this moment that you have this vision inside of you, this destiny that you're here to fulfill, that you are going to make it happen. It is done even now. And affirm with me as I say these words. Let it be you speaking the words that you can see on your screen. I relax. I take a breath in. I release. And I take another breath in and I release. Do it. I'm here to connect more deeply with you, divine. I'm here to meet more intimately with love right now. So I relax. I stay at peace and I love on you, divine, even as I receive the love that you freely give to me. I breathe it in. I feel love flowing through every fiber of my being. It feels like a light, a warm light. It energizes me. It restores a deep sense of knowing my worth. And in this moment, I see that I'm not my mistakes. I see that I am inherently worthy of every good thing. And as I relax into this love, I allow myself to receive every good thing. I am loved. I am enough. I am worthy. I know it. I am stepping into my vision. I am stepping into my vision. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. And I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. Your love awakens me. Your love refreshes me. Your love dissolves the layers I've allowed to build around the core of me. I feel my childlike nature coming back into the forefront of my life. I feel my vision being re-energized with your love. I feel a new enthusiasm for its creation being birthed within me. I feel joy rising within me as I consider the birthing of my vision. I see again how living in my true design is a service to all mankind. I see myself becoming a light in this world as I choose me each and every day. I see how the love energy that is generated within me transfers to everyone with whom I come into contact. It is so exhilarating to see and feel the empowerment I am, or that I offer the world as I live in my true design. I am infused and ready to take guided, inspired action to bring my deeply held desires to life. It feels great as I confidently move forward, knowing that I'm carried by your unending love. Oh Lord. I am stepping into my vision. I am stepping into my vision. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. I am stepping into my vision, step by step. I honor my inner child, and I honor my inner masculine. I flow love to every part of my being. I choose now to enjoy all that I am. Mistakes mean nothing. Delays mean nothing. Every moment is a new moment, and I choose to refocus on my vision and swiftly take the next obvious step. Life continues to open up into a grand adventure. I know I am capable of my calling, my vision, my desires. And I recommit to the continual creation of my happy, prosperous, wealthy life. I am worthy of it, and I allow you to guide me into a greater, more expanded version of it. My masculine and feminine are one within. There is peace within, and with power, I move forward now. I move forward now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am one within, and I am one with you, divine. And I am one with my vision. It is done. I am stepping into my vision. I am stepping into my vision. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. I am stepping into my vision. I am stepping into my vision. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. When I fall down, I get back up. I feel your love supporting me. I am stepping into my vision, step by step. Okay, so we're stepping into our vision, one step at a time. Okay, let's get out of here and keep the conversation going. Let me see. Oh, you see my screen. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Angel. Okay, so here we go. Haha. We will carry on talking here, stepping into our vision one step at a time, working things through little by little. Procrastination or delaying your destiny, whatever, however you wish to position it. A lot of us procrastinate. Okay, I don't feel like I do. There are probably areas in my life where I do, but when it comes to actually building up my vision, I would say that I've mostly mastered procrastination. There's hardly any time that I would allow myself to go to bed, or yeah, to go to bed without doing the things that I set out to do that day. I don't have control over the results of those things, but I definitely have control over what I allow myself to do. Same goes with you guys. And when most people talk about procrastinating or delaying on doing the things that they need to do, it's just talked about from a surface level. But usually there's a heck of a lot going on beneath the surface inside of you that is causing you to procrastinate. Which doesn't say, listen, please, nothing that I share here is an excuse not to do the things that you need to do. But it is a reason it's to support you in becoming a heck of a lot more aware of why you do some of the things that you do and how to correct the issues. Okay? Because for the most part, the reason why you would procrastinate on something you claim to want, it is simply because there is a splintering of energy within you. It's like everybody has a male and a female. I don't care whether you're what's it called, whether you're a man or woman. We all have masculine and feminine parts of ourselves. Okay, and those both parts of us need to be working in order for us to take action and move forward and actually get a result. Okay, for the most part, when people are procrastinating, it usually more than likely is something to do with the fact that the male and the female are feeling separated within. Because to birth a vision, needless to say, just like birthing a baby, you need a man and a woman. The same goes within you. Your masculine and your feminine need to be working together. The feminine part of you is that, or you can call it your inner child. To me, they're the same. Okay, right brain, inner child, feminine, same thing. It's intuitive. It is the part of you that is most connected to the divine. It is the part of you that has the vision, that carries the vision, that sees the vision, because it can see the inner realm more than just the masculine. The masculine is almost like it's your go-between with the physical reality. It supports when everything is working well within you. It supports the feminine. It carries her. It's that strong part of you, but it's not in some ways stronger than the feminine. And so if you're procrastinating on bringing your vision to life, it's almost definite that your feminine is not being listened to. Because most of us have been brought up in a society, well, we're all brought up in a society where we valued our masculine more than our feminine. That kind of touchy-feely, woo-woo side of us was pushed down in favor of do the work, get out there, do this, all of that. Our education is all about that. Perform. Nothing wrong with that, except when it's separated from that soft, more intuitive side of you. But again, realize this: your feminine has a heck of a lot of power. So it takes a lot of energy to keep yourself from actually living in your vision. It takes a lot of energy to ignore your feminine. And so that energy is no longer available to you, which also starts you procrastinating. All the masculine can do is, it can act. You can act and some of you work very, very hard. Absolutely, you do. So you're working very hard to kind of keep everything going, but you're not working towards the things that you desire. So it's like you're working hard, building everything else, except when it comes to doing the things that you actually want to do, there's reasons why you can't do it. You somehow forget. And then I have to clean the house, and I have to, my children need this, and oh my gosh, I need to do the other. And so then you find yourself procrastinating, and years go, days, weeks, months, years go by, and you still haven't actually done the things that you really deep down want to do, because the masculine doesn't completely, the masculine is feeling separated from the feminine and is just trying to hold everything together. can't see the vision, can't see what you're actually trying to build, and in fact thinks that part of you is just wishy-washy, and you think that. And if you've been anything like I used to be, I used to look at spiritual people that were more woo-woo, more of the more, I don't know, more heavenly minded spiritual people, and I kind of judge them as being weak and they just don't get anything done, blah 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 blah. But now I realize that that's because my masculine, because I was just coming from Africa where you had to work hard if you were going to eat, for goodness sake. You had to get great grades at school. You had to, because education was like a blessing, that you got to be educated was, oh my gosh. And so when I came to the UK first, and I was enjoying the church where there was a lot of talk about your mindset and all of that stuff, it was just like, what nonsense. It's what nonsense. You guys, because you have food to eat, that's why you're worrying about your mindset. But then I lived here for a bit. and some of those initial survival needs got met. And suddenly it wasn't enough to survive anymore. I wanted to thrive. And so then you realize that the skills and the ability to survive, the way I thought in order to survive would not get me to thriving. I had to wake up both sides of me. I wanted to go deeper with the divine, but I could only stay on the surface. I mean, even at school, when I was leading revivals and all of this, but I was always on the surface. I was always that leader of the movement. So there'd be all these revivals and things. If you're a brother Christian, you know what I mean. And I would be leading them, but I would feel nothing. So everybody around me would be feeling the spirit and falling over. And I would be all like, no, we need to do this. And I'd be all for it. But I personally would never have any of those experiences because I was very, very left-brained, very masculine. So I could lead everything. I believed it all. I didn't quite understand why I wasn't having the experiences myself. It was because I wasn't letting them in. Which I'm not saying everybody needs to go around looking, falling on the ground and having Holy Spirit experiences. But I am saying that I was very left-brained. I was scientific. I was, very practical. And I prided myself on this until I wanted to go beyond survival. Because then when I wanted to thrive, I started procrastinating on the things that would allow me to thrive, working very hard at the things that would maintain my survival, because the masculine will keep trying to maintain things until you burn out. I don't particularly have a grand. I know sometimes people are so scared of doing anything in case they burn out. I'm not into that. I don't think like that, because I think if you get to the place of burnout, you just go and have a rest and you come back and carry on. But there are times when burnout can, however, get quite bad, because you've been running on your masculine alone for a very long time. The masculine has felt separated from your feminine, from the divine, and it's just trying to make sense of the world, but it's not created to do it alone. It's created to support the vision, the feminine, the intuitive part of you. But if you shut down that intuitive, more feminine side of you because you needed to survive, it served you for a season, but it won't serve you to step into your next level. It's not enough just to be super masculine and taking action all the time, because the chances are you're taking action on the very wrong stuff that is keeping you in the very place you do not want to be. But you think you have to keep doing that stuff. You have to keep working on everything except your visionary stuff, because I have to pay the bills. I have to be responsible. But then there's a part of you that feels empty, that feels, why am I not doing the things that would also bring my vision to life? And you have all kinds of great sounding reasons for it. But in the silence, just before you go to bed, when you first wake up in the morning, you haven't had time to put on your armor. Those are the times that you're really honest with yourself and you realize, this is not the life that I thought I'd be living. There's more to me. This is when you need to start thinking, what's going on inside of me? Because the chances are the masculine has been pushing the feminine to do things that she doesn't want to do. As in the survival stuff. So you're not listening to your intuition. You get those intuitive hits, but you don't listen to them because they seem impractical. They don't seem to fit into what you're used to. The masculine part of you is afraid of doing anything outside of your experience. But of course, if you keep living within the boundaries of your experience, then you'll only experience what you're experiencing now. You're trying to get to your next level. You're trying to step into something you haven't experienced before. The masculine part of you that has run the show to date is scared of that because it doesn't know whether it has the strength to support you. But the feminine part of you does know. Why? Because the feminine is connected to the divine. The feminine sees the vision, is not so confused by all the physical reality and what's happening out there. Oh my God, look at the economy. Oh, la, 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 la. The feminine creates the vision within, sees it, has completed it, knows that it's happening, but is now shut down by the masculine because you've given the masculine full free reign. I'm not saying the masculine is bad. The masculine has always protected you, but this is not its rightful place. That's the thing. And your feminine is a heck of a lot more powerful. And so if it doesn't want to do what the masculine is trying to force it to do, it will shut down and take a lot of your energy with it. You will start to procrastinate and you'll start beating yourself up. This is again, the masculine yelling at the feminine. Why are you doing this? Why are you acting this way? Why are you sabotaging yourself? That just makes the whole thing worse. Because you're not listening to your inner feminine. Your inner feminine feels shut down, feels uncared for, feels unworthy because your masculine has spent lots of time saying you shouldn't do that. How could you do that? You're the one that's causing all my troubles. Blah, 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 blah. You're not always aware that this is happening inside of you, except if you listen to your inner talk. You know it doesn't always sound great. I remember there was a particular client of mine that I started working with him, and he was like, oh, I'm a really positive person. I always think great things about myself. I love myself, whatever. And we started our work together. He started growing in self-awareness and suddenly realized, oh my goodness, I was actually listening to my inner talk. It's horrible. And at first he gets it because when this happens to clients, at first they get really scared. Like, Rosemary, I started working with you and everything seems worse. And I'm like, honey, no, it was always there. You just were not listening to it. You were pretending it wasn't there. And so now we started working together because you want to go up to your next level. You have to actually face what is actually going on inside of you. You cannot pretend that it isn't. So for a lot of y'all, your feminine may be completely unresponsive because you've spent years ignoring your inner feminine. And it takes a lot of energy to keep that inner feminine down. That is also what's leading to your procrastination. You just don't have the energy to do anything apart from just maintain the status quo. There could also be that your feminine is scared of stepping up. Because if she's felt unprotected and blamed for everything that's happened to you in the past by the masculine, then she's not going to want to step up. It's like a child. Imagine a child always being yelled at. You did this, you did that. And then you're expecting that child to step up and actually lead? No way. That won't happen. Another reason could be that ultimately the male does not believe, and I've kind of mentioned this, but the masculine inside of you just doesn't believe that the goal is possible because of your past experiences and because he feels separated from the female, so he doesn't see the vision that the female is seeing. It just seems like gobbledygook and a pipe dream. So he does feel, he's felt for a very long time that he has to take care of everything himself, which again, he blames the feminine for. You're not pulling your weight. I'm having to carry everything. It's almost like an actual relationship. Some of y'all have been in those relationships where one of y'all is shouting about how I do everything. You just say, if not for me, where would you be? Blah, blah, blah. And you are usually the one that probably feels that way, if you're honest. That your partner is kind of taking advantage of you. That's precisely if that's happening in your actual relationship, I promise you it's probably happening within you. That there's a part of you that feels as if I have to carry everything. I can't take on anything extra. It's just too tiring. I can't do anymore. I just need to just keep maintaining the external. Just keep maintaining the status quo. And the masculine is also so enamored, particularly when it's not connected to the feminine and to the divine, when it's feeling separated. It's looking for validation externally. This is also why you would procrastinate on doing things like, if you're in business, on marketing yourself, because you're scared of what people will think of you. Your masculine is very scared of what other people will think of you. It thrives on external validation because it's not getting what it needs from the feminine, because it's shut it down. It's not connected to the divine, because in order to be connected to the divine, you need to be connected to your feminine, because your feminine is the part that is most connected to the divine. And so it feels shut off. So then all it can get in terms of validation is from the external world. So it's too scared to do anything that would take that validation away from itself. Anything that would make people think that it's not good, or that you're not good, or you're not a good person. It will not do that stuff. Even if you can see, in order for me to build my vision, I have to do these certain things. But because your masculine, which feels like it's carrying the weight of everything, and your feminine is now shut down, because the masculine is now thinking, yeah, but if I do that and this person doesn't like me, they might, oh my gosh, what, I could lose my reputation. So no, we're not doing that. So then you procrastinate. It will not persist in doing things, because if it doesn't get immediate gratification in terms of that approval from somebody, something out there, it immediately thinks, oh, it must not be working. Let's quit this and go back to doing what we were doing before. Stay within my past experience. But again, you want more than your past experience. So acting in a way that maintains your past experience. And I see this happening all the time. People come and work with me, and then the next payment needs to be made. And then, oh my gosh, oh, this and that, and then they go back to their past experience. And it's like, no, honey, this is the moment that you actually need to decide, am I going to go back to living the way that I had to? And I say this to everyone. Yeah, I know it feels difficult. I know it feels like, oh my gosh, I can't do this right now. But that's precisely why you must do it. That's precisely why you must take that step. Because what you're doing, what your masculine is trying to do is protect you, yeah, and keep you within your past experience. Well, we didn't pay that. We can't pay that. We know we just need to, stick within our means. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all of that, doing that whole thing that you've been doing has kept you at the level that you don't want to be at anymore. So you are going to have to tap into your intuition, really wake up your feminine, connect back to the divine properly, not just on a surface level, because it's easy to talk about, oh, I have faith, that I'm connected to the divine, I do all my spiritual rituals. But the question is, when it feels difficult, do you feel alone or do you feel connected? So again, some distinctions to kind of think about. The masculine just wants to look good to others. The feminine wants to feel good on the inside. So you can see there's almost two different goals here. So the masculine is trying to make sure everybody thinks that they're good. The feminine is trying to make sure that you're actually good. But if the masculine has the reins of your life, then you won't listen to that part of you that wants to feel good, which is why it's only first thing in the morning, last thing at night. You suddenly actually have a few moments of listening to yourself and realize, I don't feel happy. But then you shut it down quick. The masculine steps in. No. Let's not look at that. We have to do this and we have to do that. Everybody's expecting this of us. And this person needs us. But that's not getting you where you want to go. So you're procrastinating on the things and procrastinating on the things that you need to do to actually step into your next level. That delays your destiny. So you're not rising victorious in your actual true design. The masculine needs positive feedback from the physical. I've said that. But the feminine is self-motivated and vision-driven unless you shut it down. The masculine will feel abandoned and alone. And that will lead to burnout and stress and all of that stuff, because you're pushing hard against the feeling that you're not safe, that you're not worthy, that you're not enough. It's tiring, it's draining. And then at some point, the masculine will just get fed up of doing all this pushing, and just choose to settle and just be like everybody else because it's safe. It's safe. This must be as good as it gets for me. But it's not true. It's just that you shut down the feminine. You didn't allow the feminine to lead. And that is the role of the feminine. I don't care whether you're a man or a woman. It is your intuitive, right-brained side that actually should take the lead. Or else you will stay stuck in a life well beneath your potential. The feminine is deeply connected to the divine. I'm very enthused about the vision that you're actually supposed to be creating. And the feminine is willing to go on indefinitely because it already sees that the vision is done. It's compelled by the vision, by passion for the vision. And the feminine is willing to approve of itself. It doesn't need anybody to say you're a good person. No, it doesn't care. Say what you like. I see who I am. I see what I'm creating. This is a fully connected and empowered feminine. Okay. It knows that it's safe and looked after because it's connected to the divine. Of course, it knows. It knows that it's one with the divine. So, what is there to be afraid of? And it has an abundance of energy when allowed free reign. But again, we've been trained to push that down. The disconnected masculine part of you will feel limited. So, if you're going through life feeling limited, it's because a part of you is disconnected. Whereas your connected feminine, when your feminine is connected and is connected to the male and connected to the divine, you feel limitless. You feel like you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. Whereas the stifled feminine that's been forced into silence shows up in addictions, in self-sabotaging behaviors, and it will be heard. That's the thing, guys. As I said, the feminine is very powerful. It will be heard. So either you will hear it positively and, allow it free reign and allow it to lead you, or you will be pushing it down. And in order to push it down, it will be heard in negative ways. You'll start eating too much, working too much, having too much sex with the wrong people, or whatever. You'll be doing anything you need to do to stop, because the feminine will have its way, or spending too much. You know how some of when your masculine is well in control, you save all this money, you get money, you save it, and somehow it's all gone again. Because the feminine is like, basically, and it does feel like he's sabotaging you. So then the masculine also starts yelling at the feminine some more, and you're yelling at yourself. But actually, if you listened to the feminine, the intuitive, more visionary part of you, and actually surrendered to your vision, I don't promise that it will all start working immediately, but I do promise that it will work. Because you're too powerful for it not to. That's the thing to bear in mind. But because we've been trained to really give our masculines that full, there's nothing wrong with the masculine. So don't listen to anything I'm saying here to mean that the masculine is bad. No, it's just out of place a little bit. So I know there's a lot of spiritual teaching about ego this and ego the other. This is just a disconnected part of you from the divine. So that's what's happened with your masculine. It's had to, because it was brought up in this world where we're trained to really give precedence to the masculine, when actually we need to be working in unison, definitely within yourselves. The feminine is actually supposed to, I keep saying actually, I keep wanting to get rid of actually from my vocabulary. It hasn't worked yet. But yeah, the feminine is supposed to be at the helm of everything, because the feminine is a more visionary, more, it can see where you're going. Whereas the masculine, it doesn't have that characteristic. So its role is actually to support the feminine and help the feminine get where she's trying to take all of y'all. That's when things are in unison. So how do you get yourself back into unison? Because until you do, you will delay your destiny. You will keep procrastinating, because most of your energy is going to be kept, it's going to be used up in trying to keep your inner child under control. But you can't. It's a losing battle. And so you're either, as I said, because as I said, the inner child, your inner feminine will be heard. So you'll either give in with some kind of addiction of some crazy sort, or some kind of weird self-sabotaging behavior, and you'll keep wondering, why can't I overcome this? Why do I keep doing this? It's because you're not listening to yourself. You're not even aware that this battle is going on within you. And it's time to get aware about this battle. So how do we go about correcting the issues here? First, be aware that it's there. Look at what is pushing you. Is it fear? What is pushing you? Or is it vision? What is your focus really, truly? Because if it's fear, I promise you the masculine is probably, this has the reins in your life. It's pushing you, do this, do this, do this, do this. But you're running fast to get nowhere, or to stay in the same level when you know you want to break through to the next one. Or is it vision? Is it love that is pushing you forward? Then the chances are that your feminine is more in place. The chances are you won't be procrastinating so much if it was vision and love. because you'll be driven to bring it to life. You would be. The feminine is very powerful. And when allowed free reign, yeah, to begin with, it particularly, it's like a child who has been in an authoritative home, who gets let out to go to college or something, and they go crazy. They're drinking and they're doing everything they couldn't do when they were at home. But at some point, they calm down. The same may happen. I'm not going to lie. That may happen to you when you start listening to your feminine more. That to begin with, there might be a little bit of craziness, but it's okay. It will all even out. But to begin with, you need to start loving yourself again. I believe mirror work is very effective for this, because it's almost like you're speaking to the feminine part of you, that child side of you. Even now, as I'm speaking about this, it's almost like I can see this child inside some of your hearts that is just hiding in the corner because it keeps getting yelled at. It keeps getting told, you're naughty, you're bad, stop, you can't do anything, you're horrible. And now I'm asking you to look at that part of you that has felt shut down and start to love on it. Literally talk to yourself. 5 minutes. I have done this on numerous occasions where I recognize that there's a part of me that's felt shut down. I will do mirror work immediately. Have to have in a shower. I will stand in front of the mirror, usually naked, and just talk to myself. Tell myself I am loved. Tell myself it's okay. I'm sorry that I didn't listen to that part of you. I promise to be your greatest champion. I'm looking at myself. I promise to be your greatest champion. I'm sorry that I pushed you down, that I didn't listen, that I was so abrupt with you, whatever. Please come back to life. Particularly when you're speaking to the feminine. So I would, in fact, very actively, I would say to you, have time sit with the divine. So I like to say to clients, I teach you how to connect to the divine. So it's all in the Abundance Library, guys. So if you're a client, go look in the Abundance Library for divine guidance, or for how to hear back from the divine, or how to live life intuitively. It's all in the Abundance Library. You have access to it if you're a client of mine. And for all of y'all rest, you probably need to become clients of mine, or whatever way you use to connect to the divine. Then do some mirror work whilst you're connected to the divine. Call in your feminine. Speak to your feminine. Comfort it. Say sorry where necessary. Ask if it has a message for you. Promise that you will actually act on what you hear. And I would even do the same for the masculine, because the masculine probably has been feeling quite angry and resentful because you've been ignoring. It has been carrying everything. And it wasn't created to carry everything. It's tired. It's fed up. It's trying to keep you safe. And now, not only that, you're now saying that all its work was what? It kept the feminine down. So you can almost feel, that part of you can almost feel like, yeah, but I did the best that I could. What are you saying? And I know some of this can sound really woo and crazy, but we're spiritual people here. Hopefully it doesn't sound like that to you. I want you to practice this stuff. Practice speaking to your masculine. Practice speaking to your feminine. Listen to each of their messages. Try and get them connected. You can even have a marriage ceremony between the two of them. I know it sounds kind of weird. Yes. In your imagination, which is a superpower, imagine that there's the masculine side of you is wedding the feminine, and they're going to now work in unison. And then very actively, as you're going about your day, love on yourself. I've given an exercise to a client before of holding on to, or picturing their inner child, and taking that inner child around with them all through the day, and every so often closing their eyes, for a moment, and just looking at that inner child and saying, I love you. I love you. So you can do that, or you can, because the divine is loving you guys all the time, loving all of us all the time. But most of the time, as you're going through your everyday life, you're not aware of that. Choose to become aware. Say to yourself through the day, I feel you, or say to the divine, I feel you loving me. I feel you loving me right now. You need to start being aware that you're loved, because part of the reason why the masculine took over was out of fear. But if you start operating from a place of knowing that you are loved, there'll be less need for the masculine to feel like it must take over the reins again. So practice loving yourself actively. Again, this doesn't need, you don't need to go and get a massage. If you want one, of course you can. Or any of those things that people generally talk about in terms of loving themselves. Yeah, of course you can do those practical things as well, but it's also an internal thing where you're internally imagining yourself being loved, imagining the different parts of you being loved, imagining the masculine and the feminine part of you reuniting again, as though they separated, but now they're coming back together and they're going to stay together and they're going to be for each other all the time. Because that way you're releasing the energy that has been used to keep your feminine down, and that energy becomes available for you to now start building your life into your next level. So you rise victorious into your true design life. Your feminine knows your life's purpose. For all of y'all that think you don't know what your purpose is, it is literally because you have not been listening to your feminine. Because you know, I can sit with someone 2-3 hours. I know I can bring out your life's purpose. Definitely. Now, when I bring it out, for some of y'all, that's the scary bit, because to actually admit that this is there within you, and you means you have to do something about it, and you don't want to. And so it's easier to say, I don't know what my life's purpose is. Yes, you do. You do. It's always within you. It's just that you may have been shutting it down because it didn't seem practical. And so your masculine has said, no, we don't do such things. Yes, you do, if you want to live to the fullness of your potential. And then you need to start trusting yourself, okay? So pay attention to what you truly want, no matter how outlandish it is to begin with. As I said, like a child who has been stifled for a long time, you might choose to go a little bit haywire to begin with. You still have to say yes for a season. Trust yourself that in the end, it will all work out well for you. Trust yourself. You need to demonstrate self-trust by actually taking action on those things that come up within you. When you feel that intuitive nudge to do something, you do it. You don't second guess it. Oh, that doesn't seem practical. Oh, that doesn't seem reasonable. Honey, you're trying to live outside of your past experience. What is reasonable and expected is not going to get you there at all, or else you already would have. So trust what bubbles up inside of you. Trust yourself. Then refocus on your vision. What do you actually want to create? Become the one that creates it. Because sometimes we can get caught up in taking a heck of a lot of action, saying that we're trying to build our vision, but actually you're being run by the fear that it will never come to life, but you don't want to fully admit that you don't believe it. And so you're working very, very hard, and then you somehow prove yourself right. Oh yeah, that was not working, is it? Like I thought. No, it's not working because you were coming from the premise that it wasn't going to work. And so it's not working. But become the someone who actually does make your vision work. Become that person. Spend time every morning picturing who you are, or feeling. Some of us are not that visionary. I was in visual seers, but you can feel. Everyone can feel. Everyone can write down what you've decided to create. It's like I say to clients, the write, speak, see, feel. Write and speak what you've chosen to create, who you choose to be, in order to see and feel it. You don't have to wait until you're the most visual person on the planet, or to wait until you feel anything. You don't have to feel anything to decide, this is who I am now. I am the person that brings my vision to life. I am someone who's masculine and feminine are working in unison to bring my vision to life. That is who I am now. And that is who you are, because you decide it is. And then every day, practice, make sure you're always staying connected. I've already said this, but that feeling of being loved all the time, practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it. Most people, including spiritual people, are walking this planet right now, particularly with a heck of a lot of fear, because it is propagated everywhere. We must be beacons of love. The only way that we become those beacons of love is if we practice being loved all the time. This isn't a waiting for the heavens to open and tell you that you're loved again. No, it is you closing your eyes for a second. I feel you loving me, divine. I feel your love loving me right now. And feel it. Just decide, I feel loved, until it takes. Instead of blindly or passively walking through life, allowing all the fear energy to take a hold in you. Enough of that. Be very deliberate about choosing to be loved first. And well, whether you don't even have to think about it. When you have been loved, it's easy to be love. Okay? Affirm to yourself, I am the limitless power source and I flow. I flow love. I am one with the limitless power source. I flow love. Okay? Just practice feeling loved to begin with. Practice doing things that feel joyous to do. The masculine, generally, there's a feeling that you just have to do whatever you need to do to survive. And sometimes that's stuff you really hate doing. And I get it from a practical perspective to begin with. I'm not saying everybody quit their jobs now because you hate your job. And so quit your job and run off into the sunset. Yeah, you may have to carry on doing your job for a little season, but doesn't have to be forever. You don't have to see it as this place where you're stuck forever. You are literally one with the divine. If you decide that you're going to create a business or another job that feels good to do, you will create it. It's just when you're telling yourself it's not possible or it's not practical, then you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to. So what feels joyous to do? Do more of it. One of the questions I get clients to ask themselves every day is, what is the best, most joyous thing that I can do today to bring my vision to life? Best, most joyous thing. The divine will never force you to do something you really hate to do. I'm not saying you won't sometimes be afraid of doing that thing, but it won't be hated. Okay? Usually when you feel like something is a should, it's not the divine. And that could also be causing you to procrastinate. It's because your life is so full of all the shoulds and I should do this and I should do the other. No. There's always a way to do the thing that you want to do in a way that you want to do it. But you have to be open to hearing the way. That's where listening to your intuition comes in. Yes, there are practical basic things, because I know if you've been in my world for any length of time, you've heard me say intuition alone is definitely not a business strategy. However, your intuition will guide you in the direction of putting business strategy in place that feels good to you. Your fear will tell you that you don't need a business strategy at all. You can just listen to intuition. And then you'll tell yourself, I'm being intuitive. No, you're not. You're just being afraid. This is what I said about when people are actually afraid and don't think their vision can come to life. They're working very hard and they look as if they're doing everything right, but they're actually being driven by fear. And so they do silly things like, oh yeah, I followed my intuition and it didn't work. And oh, well, maybe it's not meant to be. The divine doesn't want me to do this. No, that's not the truth. The truth is that fear had the reins in your life. You were pushing down the feminine, pretending to be intuitive, and the masculine was in control. And there's nothing wrong with the masculine part of you. It will do whatever it needs to do to protect you, but it needs the feminine, because it's the feminine that sees all that you're capable of. It's the feminine that knows what you can do, how to live in your true potential. So you need to reawaken that feminine part of you. And really, of everything I've said here, the most important thing to do is that mirror work. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay? Okay, so if you are truly committed to stepping into your next level life, then I too do very strongly encourage you to join me in the Opulence membership, yes, in Opulence. Okay? So if you are determined to find your purpose and start living out your purpose, then join Opulence. Join Opulence. At the moment, you can do a 14-day trial for $1. Try it out. So that's a one-off thing. So if you've been there before and you didn't actually do it within 48 hours, then you won't ever see that offer again. So it's unfortunate, but you will still get a 14-day trial just before $9, I think, if you've missed out on the $1 one. It doesn't matter. It's still worth it. But I like to give action takers, deliberate action takers, what's it called? A quick hit. Basically. Of course, if you're in business and such, then you need to actually come work with me in the accelerator, which is a whole different thing. But for this particular opulence masterclass, I would say to all of y'all that are not quite ready for business or whatever, then join the opulence membership. Let's start sorting out the different areas of your life, okay? In month one, because it is a 12-month transformational journey. In month one, you'll go through the opulence boot camp, sorting out your money story. In month two, you'll sort out your God story. What is the lies and the stuff you've heard about the divine that is keeping you from your destiny? In month three, it's your relationship stuff. You'll be looking at that. It's a program called Thriving. Every day you'll receive a little bit of something, which actually goes into even more depth about the masculine and the feminine, and what happens when you treat the masculine this way, and how it shows up in your relationships, or all of that stuff. It's actually quite enlightening to see what is at play in your life. So I would suggest that you did that. You'll be in month 3 of being a member of the Opulence membership. Then there's Slim, Sexy, Strong, and Healthy, which is another boot camp that you'll be doing in month 4 to get, because it's all right having the greatest vision on the planet, but if your body is not in the greatest place, then yeah, that won't happen, will it? So we want to get that sorted. Then we'll do Light of the World in month 5. This is after you've cleared those first 4 areas, you'll be ready to actually say yes to your vision, start building out that business, getting clients, customers, online, all of that stuff. You become the light in the world. Month 6 and 7 is about training your brain. Think rich, act rich, get rich. So it's all, again, the mindset-y stuff. Month 8 and 9 is transition. I always liken it to the journey the Israelites had to take from captivity when they were in slavery. Some of you all know the stories, some of you aren't, but there was this whole body of people moving from captivity to being leaders, to being owners, to losing that slavish mentality, which a lot of us carried. Slaves to money, slaves to the people in your life. That stuff needs to be shed if you're going to step into your next level. And transition helps you do that. Okay. And then there's the quantum leap, where we're looking at 4 particular emotions that keep you from your destiny. We'll be clearing those. So in month 10, so that again, the whole point of this whole transformational journey is to leave behind the pain and limiting beliefs of the past, rise victorious in your true design, clear your money blocks. Okay. Because money blocks are not just sometimes about money, sometimes about every other area of your life. Because if you're allowing yourself to be blocked in other areas, you are disallowing money to flow through to you. Okay, so that's month 10. Month 11, there's unstoppable confidence. You'll be going through that in month 11. And then month 12 is overflowing love, which totals everything. It just really brings you back to a place of loving yourself, loving the divine, and being open completely to every good thing. Now, if you carry on working with me, after you've done the accelerator, you'll go through this thing as well. How am I doing it? There's 2 other programs you go through, and then you start this. Ultimately, there's a heck of a lot of stuff when you work with me over the long term. My goal is to immerse you and get you to a place where you are clear, so that the money you desire is flowing through. The impact you want to have, it's easy for you to do. It's easy to make new decisions. It does take a certain amount of, I will do the daily rituals, I will do the daily work. But as long as you're willing, as long as you're really committed to stepping up, then going through this deliberate millionaire process will change your life forever. Okay, so there's a link around this video. It's Rosemary and Onion. No, it's not. It's there's a link around the video. Who knows how to say that? Did I put it under rosemarynonnynight.com/opulence? If I haven't, then I need to. But there's a link around this video if you're on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. If you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. Go and join. Take advantage of the 14-day trial. Actually do the stuff. Most people will have some kind of money miracle in that first 14 days. And that money miracle will probably be enough to pay for your whole year's membership of Opulence. So do it. Okay? Commit. So people, it's like 12 months, Rosemary. 12 months? Like, 12 months will pass, whatever you're doing. So you best decide, am I going to just allow another 12 months to pass whilst I'm looking for some other magic bullet? Or will I just commit to a path and do the work of that path? Simple work, isn't this? Journaling and listening to stuff. It's not going to kill anybody. Okay. Do it and see where you are this time next year. Okay. That's enough from me today. And if you upgraded to the VIP, then let's go. You make sure you click through to your actual link, and then we will have questions and answer. If you're a paying client, I will come now and we will have an actual conversation. For all of y'all, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Much amazing love. Bye. This will only be out until, I don't know, maybe Monday or so. It'll be taken down. So if you want to listen to it again, you better do it very quickly. Much love, guys. Bye.